New video, new aspect ratio, and a new phone. That's what's changed in the last 24 hours. So my Nokia 8 phone charger, well, actually the charging port just gave up the ghost. Phone's perfectly fine, but replacing it, given how much I had left on the contract, kind of wasn't worth it. So I've upgraded to a Samsung Galaxy S10e, and it happens to be the global version, which means I get 6 gig of memory. Which is still an upgrade over the Nokia 8. Even though the normal Nokia 8 had 6 gig, the version I had 4 gig of memory, so strange. But either way, the phone has proven to be a mixture of upgrades and weird downgrades from the Nokia 8. The biggest downgrade's probably the Samsung One UI. I don't like it that much. And the screen resolution's lower. It's 1080 by 2280 instead of 1440p, or 2560 by 1440 for the less tech inclined. So it's not as sharp, but colors are much better. Which, I mean, yeah, it's nice, but it's not 1440p. So I'm not terribly fussed in the end. But my big problem is, well, the recordings and that. But the recordings especially, since everything's now, for whatever reason, letterboxed, because the aspect ratio isn't native 16 by 9. So we've got a small problem here, and that small problem is yeah, well that's actually a big problem, but I cannot, record proper aspect ratio anymore, which is gonna be interesting, I'll give it that. But hopefully the microphone is better in this phone than it was in the last one, because the Nokia 8 gave me almost nothing but issues since I got it. And so far, this Samsung seems to be off to a good start. Has a lot of storage, and plus I didn't have to format the SD card, which was really nice, so I didn't have to put in 100 gig of music again. So it was all ridiculously convenient. Actually, it was actually the easiest transition I've done from phones. That being said, I've still got to get some two-factor codes over, which is going to be very troublesome, given my Nokia 8, my unchargeable one, is on just 5%. So I've got to. The time's not on my side with that. I'll say that much. But nonetheless, because of the spec upgrades, I'm now able to do 1080p video on Android, where I will record in-game 1080p stuff with no problems. The Nokia 8 had weird, memory leak issues with AZ screen recorder, but this works really well. And I'm really, really surprised at how well the phone takes gaming. But with 6 gig of memory and a really high-end Samsung chip, actually. This is the first phone I've got that hasn't had a Qualcomm chip in it. This has a Exynos, or whatever they call the Samsung chips, and I've just fucked that up. So the fact that it's running as nicely as it is quite the pleasant surprise, and it's all HDR enabled, so the display is really a treat. It's really weird. There's only one downgrade from it, and that's resolution, which I really like. Sharp text, but everything else is just so much nicer. And the form factor on this phone is marvelous as well. It's a bigger screen, but the screen to body ratio is much more notable, and it feels more compact as a result. And again, it just looks great. There is that weird eye camera thing on the front, but it's not so bad. It could be worse. I can adapt to that. That doesn't get in the way of this. There's no circular blotch on the screen when I'm recording, and it doesn't really get in the way of much. So I'm just kind of cool. And plus Android adapts to it too, because Android's a very adaptable OS. And unlike me, clearly. So Android's a very interesting, adaptable OS, and this just proves it. Oh yeah, and there's a fingerprint scanner that acts as a power button, but then there's also another smaller button that's similarly sized next to the volume rocker that activates the voice assistant, which I don't like at all. I wish you could toggle that to do something else, because I don't want to use Bixby. I didn't like Google Assistant. In fact, I tried to actively wipe it off my Nokia. And I'm gonna try assign it to something else, like text messaging or calling or call dialer or something. Just something that's actually useful. Because I don't like it. I don't like Bixby. I don't like the voice assistants and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my new phone. Other than the ups and downs, there's the glass back, which gets very fingerprinty. Not helped by the color I picked either. I picked this weird dusk forest black thing, and it doesn't look that great. So I'm just gonna get a case or a D brand skin or something. Shout me out, D brand, please. I'm begging of you. You're willing to shout out every YouTuber who mentions phones. Please, just do it for me. Do it for the man with a declining subscriber count. Well, I finally did the easy levels, Easy D and Easy E. One's a slang for dick and the other is a slang for a legendary gangster hip-hop rapper. Well, on that note, that's the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next video.